Welcome to the Business of Style podcast with me, your host, Louisa Gabriel. I'm a personal stylist and image strategist who grew a successful six-figure business, and now I'm educating and empowering other personal stylists and image professionals just like you to do the same. So please keep listening to hear the lessons I've learned and the strategies I've used along the way that are guaranteed to take your personal styling career from side hustle to six figures too. When you become a personal stylist and open your own styling business, it comes with a degree of uncertainty. And one of the things that is probably the most uncertain is when you're going to find your next client, when you're going to have some money coming into your business. And obviously, this is something very important. We don't want to be in business and not have any money coming in. But when you are your own boss and you are in a service industry, that level of uncertainty is there. And what we need to do as personal stylists and image consultant is try and look for ways in our business that we can actually create some recurring income. Try and get a steady flow of money coming in so that we can pay our bills. And one of the ways that a lot of stylists do this is through creating something called a membership program. Now, if you haven't heard of a membership program, then you're in the right place because we're going to talk about it today on this episode. We're going to talk about exactly what a membership program is and how you can create one and figure out if it is something that is right for your business. So let's dive in and let's take a look at membership programs and help you figure out if this is something that you need to take the time to create for your personal styling business. So to begin with, what is a membership program? What exactly am I talking about? I'm sure many of you know this. It could potentially be something that you're already planning, something that maybe you're thinking of doing for 2025 to kick off the new year. But a membership program is a subscription-based service where clients or people that sign up for it, they pay a recurring fee. It's usually a monthly fee. And in exchange for this fee, you provide them with some exclusive perks, some different services, and some unique content that they're not going to be able to get for free on your social media posts or any live videos that you do on your social media. It's all about exclusivity when it comes to a membership program. The way a lot of stylists set up their membership programs is through doing live coaching sessions. So in a private setting, using Zoom or using a Facebook group in order to be able to connect with their members. It can be a Q&A session. It can be something more specific. It can be coaching on something specific to what their challenges are. It can be about educating them. It can be creating curated lookbooks for them as part of the membership fee. It can be creating ebooks and guides that are related to their challenges and having a library where they can go and they can look at these things and they can learn all about how to style themselves, how to actually overcome the styling challenges that they are currently facing. These are all examples of things that you can do in a membership group. There is no set way to do it. It's really up to you to determine how you want this membership to run and what you are going to give your members in exchange for this monthly fee that they are going to pay you. Membership programs, they're definitely trending right now, not just in personal styling, in all different walks of life. People are willing to pay a monthly fee in order to get some exclusive information. If you're familiar with a platform called Patreon, this is a subscription platform. People will pay to get more of an in-depth and to get that personal connection with an expert in a specific field. So it is definitely something that is popular right now. And we're seeing more and more personal stylists actually use it as part of their business. And the reason that they're really doing this is because it can create a steady and more predictable income stream than if you're waiting for that next client to come through the door. It keeps a little flow of cash coming into the bank so you can make sure the bills are getting paid. Another reason why people are turning to membership programs is because it can be a great way to build a deeper, longer term relationship with clients. Sometimes we see personal styling as this one-off service that we're providing. We shouldn't think that way, but we do. With a membership program, it's not about a one-off thing because it is about them having access to new content, to coaching sessions with you on a regular basis. So it can build that deeper relationship and a long-term relationship with people. It also creates a perfect opportunity for a stylist to be able to upsell their one-to-one services or their signature programs. So you're building that relationship, you're sharing your expertise with people that are within your membership group, and they're liking what they see, and they're getting to know you, and they're getting to see that you're the expert and that you can really help them. And then you can use that to upsell and get them signed in for a signature program or more one-to-one services. And it is also something that has become popular because it's differentiating your business from somebody else's business too. It's creating this kind of exclusive little club that people want to be a part of. So that is really what we're talking about when we're talking about a membership program. Like I said, it's a monthly recurring fee that people are going to pay you for something exclusive and to have ongoing access to your expertise as a stylist. Now, if you are thinking about creating a membership program, how are you going to go about doing that? What is the best way to do it? Let's take a look at how it works. So the very first thing that you're going to need to do is really understand your target client and their needs. Now, I don't think I've actually talked about target clients and understanding them for quite a few episodes because we've been talking about some very different topics. But if you go back to previous episodes, you are a frequent listener, you have heard me talk about how it is so important to really get a deep down knowledge of who your target clients are and really understand what challenges they are facing in their life, what obstacles they have, and what results they are potentially looking for. The more you know, the more easier it becomes to actually serve your clients. And this is with everything that we do as a business owner and a stylist. So when we're thinking about creating a membership program, it's also the same. That's where we're going to start, really getting to know who your target clients are and figuring out what are the benefits of this membership program for them. What's the goal of the program? We need to let people know that there is going to be this outcome. They're going to see some kind of change, be able to overcome the challenges that they are facing by signing up and giving you money on a monthly basis. So very important to start at that point and figure it out. The next step is to actually create some kind of structure to the program, really kind of figure out some different levels. You can run it as just one set level, and that's perfectly okay. But then you want to think about, having different tiers, different levels of membership. If you do a single tier membership, it's the same price for everybody every month, and they all get access to the same things. But another approach would be to create a multi-tier membership. So offering various levels, you say bronze, silver, gold level, which each different level of membership gets access to more things within the price and the level that they are paying for. Sometimes giving an option can be a good thing. So having it structured where you have a lower price membership and then it increases to a higher price membership. Giving options to people might encourage more people to sign up, but you have to figure that out and figure out what works for your clients. The third step that you really need to do is you need to plan. You need to plan this membership program. You can't just say, hey, I'm doing a membership program and I'm going to jump on live in this group and answer some, questions each week. That's not how it is. It has to be planned out, and you need to have a lot of information, a lot of resources created ahead of time. You want to have a library that people can go and check resources. Remember, with a membership program, not everybody is going to start at exactly the same time. So you could have somebody that signs up for it in January, but then you can have somebody that signs up for it, all the way into September or October. And you don't want that person that signs up later in the year to not have access to the things that you have already done. So you want to be able to create this library. And before you even launch your program, you want to make sure there is something in this library. You want to make sure that it isn't just a case of people are waiting for this once a month or once a week live Zoom call that you do, that there are other components that are going to help them in the meantime and give value. We want to give them value and show them that it is worth paying for. So all this has got to be planned out ahead of time. You want to have that foundation, and you want to know exactly what you are going to be offering as part of your membership program. Will you be doing live coaching calls? Will you be curating lookbooks? Will you be doing live Q&A sessions? Will you be offering some kind of stylist on-call service so they have access to you whenever they need some kind of help? Will you be doing any kind of workshops to help them learn? Will they have access to videos that talk about body shape analysis or color analysis and gives them some education and some basic information? Figure it all out before you actually start. Then the next thing, obviously, is setting your price. There's no rules for this, okay? I can't tell you that your membership should cost $50 a month or your membership should cost $100 a month. There are so many different things that are going to come into play. But the most important thing that we have to think about when we are pricing things is the perceived value of the benefits that we are giving to the people within this membership program. Okay. It's always got to be about value. I have seen stylists who charge $10 a month, and I have seen stylists that charge over $100 a month. There's a wide range of pricing levels, but you've got to think about what is the value of what you're going to offer. And of course, if you're having multi-tiered system for your program, it's going to be different prices, and you want to make sure that you are attaching an increase in value to the increase in price for those upper levels of the program. And just, something to consider is you might want to have some kind of introductory rate to really attract those first few members. If you're going to start in January, the month of January, that they get like it at a 50% discount, and then it's going to be increased. The next step that you want to take is choosing the right platform. You've got to have a place where the information is going to be kept, where people can access it, and where you're actually going to meet them. There are different platforms. Kajabi is one, as I mentioned earlier. Patreon is another one. These are platforms that are focused on membership and subscription type services. So that can also take the headache out of trying to figure out how to get paid, and how people can sign up. PayPal, Stripe offer payment buttons that are subscription buttons. It's not very complicated, but you could go with a platform that has it already figured out and will make it easier for you. And you can also use your own website. Have a secure page on your website that is password protected, and only the members are going to be able to access that specific information on your website. So there are different ways, but you have to have this all figured out. You've got to figure out before you get started. And then the next step is you want to promote the program. Obviously, this is where you're going to leverage your social media, any email newsletters that you might, be sending out. Really generate interest on social to drive people over to your membership. Create some kind of, exclusive launch event, and you can tie that into the discounted introductory price. There are many, many ways that you can promote membership programs, but it's not just going to be a case of you can put the information on your website and just hope that people are going to show up. It's something that you really got to push. You really got to announce and let people know what it is, what it's going to be about, what are the benefits and value to them if they sign up for a monthly membership. So that's the steps in creating a membership program. It does take some planning. It does take some thought. It's not going to be something that you can really come up with overnight. The next thing I want to just talk about is the pros and cons of a membership program. It can seem like a good idea, but it might not be the right idea for you and your business. We're not all the same, and everything that we do has pros and cons, so we definitely want to weigh them up. One of the pros: predictable revenue. Okay. Getting those regular payments coming in can help you create a bit of financial stability, which is always a good thing. We want to have that stability, especially if we have left our corporate jobs to become stylists, or we're thinking about leaving our corporate job to go full time as a stylist. Another pro to a membership program is that it enhances client loyalty. So it really helps to develop more of a stronger connection than when we are just using our free platforms such as our Instagram and our Facebook account. It really helps us build that connection, build that relationship, and continue that relationship with people. Just as the payments are continuing, our relationship is continuing. So it helps to stop all those thoughts about personal styling being a one-off kind of service. The next pro, I did mention this earlier, is it does create a really good opportunity for upselling and to get people booked in for other services and your signature program if you have one. Members of your program, because they've got to know you and they understand that you are an expert and you know what you're talking about and you can actually help them achieve their goals in life, this is going to make them twice as likely to actually want to work with you one-on-one. So definitely that's a pro, is the upselling opportunity. And then scalability. Now let's look at the cons, okay? Because everything has some cons, and membership program definitely do too. So the first thing is the upfront time and effort. I've mentioned it already. It requires careful planning and initial setup. You can't just launch it. You're going to have to create that work. You're going to have to build that structure so that, you don't come to the week when you're supposed to go live in your group and you don't even have a topic to discuss. It's all got to be planned out, and all this has to happen up front. So it's going to take time and it's going to take effort to create it and build it. It also takes a lot of ongoing management. It needs regular updates. You've got to be creating fresh content, and you've got to be consistently engaging with the group. You've got to be able to maintain people's interest. So this is something that is really ongoing. You can't just set it going and just leave it. You've got to come up with fresh ideas, new content to continue to get people to pay to be a member of it. The next con is that it really has a fluctuating return for your time investment. We definitely want to see a good return on the time that we're putting into something, and we want to make sure it is worth our while. And the thing with membership group is, if you have 30 members and they're all paying you, say, $50 a month, that's great. You're getting a pretty good financial return on the time that you're putting in, because it's the same amount of time for those 30 people, because you're not doing this one-on-one unless that's something that you have built into your program. But if you only have one member for several months, it's exactly the same work, but you're only getting one monthly payment coming in. So you have to really consider that time investment and what type of return you're getting on that time. If you only have one or two members, is it worth it? Is it worth it putting in that extra work and having that extra work to do if it's going to turn out that you end up making $5 an hour? Because sometimes that's what it can come down to if you don't have a lot of members in your group. So that is definitely something that I think is very important that you do need to consider. The next thing is that there is that potential for what is known as member attrition. And basically this is people signing up for the group and then canceling their memberships because the value is not being delivered on a consistent and continuous basis. People will only continue to pay you monthly if you're giving them something that is of value to them on a monthly basis. It doesn't matter if one month it was a real value and then the next month it kind of falls off. They don't care. Every single month, they want that value, and you are going to have to deliver, because when you start a membership program and you start taking these monthly subscriptions, you have to deliver. And then just another thing that I wanted to throw in there, because it does have a lot of similarities, is membership programs are typically lower price, okay? You're not going to be charging hundreds and thousands of dollars for a membership program. They tend to be on a lower price point, and they're definitely on a lower price point than signature programs. Talked about signature programs before. I'm sure most of you already know about them. Maybe you all have them, but signature programs are the best way to put your services together, achieve a goal, achieve an outcome for your client, and be able to charge higher prices. Signature programs usually start a minimum of $1,000, okay? And usually they're a lot more dependent on the value and the components to the program. You're not going to be able to charge that level when it is a subscription-based program. I want you to think of these two things as very, very different, because they are. And with a signature program, you create the program once and the creation is done. and you just keep running it with new clients. You can do it one-on-one. You can do it with a big group, but you can still be charging those high prices, and it's not coming up with something new constantly because the foundation is there. You have that outline for your signature program. So it's definitely is something to consider. If you are going to be putting the time into creating some kind of program, does it make sense to actually focus on a signature program rather than focusing on the membership program? Now, the signature program isn't going to guarantee you money every month, but it is going to guarantee you a lot more money overall if you can book the clients in. So we always want to think carefully about price, about the potential earnings from everything we do, and make sure that we are going to get a good return on the time investment that it takes. So those are my pros. Those are my cons. Okay. I cannot tell you whether you should start a membership program. And that's not the intent of this podcast episode at all. The intent was just to put it in your mind because it is something that is very popular right now. And it is something that can potentially generate some more regular income for your business. I wanted to put it on your radar so that you can think about it and you can weigh up your own pros and cons and determine if it is going to be something for your business and something that maybe you want to kickstart in the new year. So that's it. That's the episode for today. Thank you for listening, and I will catch you next time. If you enjoyed today's episode of the Business of Style podcast, then don't forget to hit subscribe so you'll be notified when a new episode is available. And of course, if you're looking for additional training and resources to help you in your career as a personal stylist, then be sure to visit my website, styleacademyintl.com.